Alright guys, I am back on my WWE Raw review for the 16th of the 3rd, 2015. I thought this Raw this week was a bit better with the build-up for WrestleMania. They announced Cena vs Rusev for WrestleMania and Raw vs Orton. They didn't really talk about that much on Raw, but they didn't really. I think some of these matches didn't have that many matches on the show this week. That's kind of the only thing. That's the thing that disappointed me. I thought some of it was a bit slow, and some of the matches were a bit repetitive in my opinion. Like, I didn't care about the tag team tournament thing. I have no interest in that. The ladder matches had some good build again. I liked the end segment when you had Sting and Randy Orton faced side by side, taking out the Authority. That was the best part of the show. The rest of the show was kind of really just recyclable shit in my opinion. Like you come up with to this opening segment, which you had the Authority come out and they're pissed off about Randy Orton. They're pissed off what happened to Rollins last week. About Rollins talks about how Randy Orton betrayed the Authority and how they trusted him and now he stabbed him in the back, and he said that, and then Rollins says that at WrestleMania he will kill Orton's ego. Then the Big Show and Kane say that they hold responsible for what happened to Randy Orton because they're a bit upset that they didn't help Seth last week. Then Orton comes out and says that I'm glad that you accept my challenge for WrestleMania. But it says then Raw says tonight that I've got no challenge for you though tonight. You face me tonight on Raw. So tonight's main event is Orton vs Rollins. Then the first match tonight is AJ versus Nikki. AJ won or lost, I don't know, but who won that match? I didn't write it down. I think Nikki won it, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to the match. It was a typical Divas match. If the WWE don't care about the Divas, I don't care about the Divas. I ain't cared about Divas in years, but I'm not going to talk about them in the Raw review. I might give them a mention, but they're not going to get a full talk about like the rest of the show does. Then we get a segment. Renee interviews Big Show and Kane tells Big Show that he's going to be in Raw's corner tonight. Then they argue, and then Rollins comes up saying Stephanie was right about you guys. You should get on and see the bigger picture. And then Kane says, well, you know what? Me and Show are glad what happened to you last week. And then Big Show says that he's not going to be at ringside with Rollins this tonight. So they do this through the entire night, and basically the thing was, where the Authority members one by one was trying to betray Seth Rollins and stuff, like, not helping for tonight, and then at the end it's kind of a swerve. So then we knew like the Authority had something to do with it, so it kind of wasn't a big surprise. Then the second match tonight was Ryback versus The Miz. Ryback was my shell shock. Sandow distracts The Miz. Then Miz Style gets hit with his skull cushion after the match. Then we had a segment, a contract signing. We got Rusev and the John Cena contract signing. Before this contract signing starts, we had seen a cut a promo talking about America and stuff like that. But then when Rusev came out, one thing the fans, we got a "Where is Lana" chant. Where is Lana? So yeah, and then they was pissed off to it, and then he started "We want Lana" chants and stuff. And then Cena acknowledged it and stuff like that. And then Rusev comes out with this lawyer, and basically this lawyer who's supposed to be Russian, but he loses his Russian accent and puts on a Texas accent for some weird reason. And then even JBL points it out, saying he's not Russian. He's not got a Russian accent. He's not from Russia. He's not he's from Texas. And then Booker says he's from Texas, man. And then so that's kind of weird. But like I said, yeah. So basically, he says that basically Rusev didn't accept any match. It was Lana, and then Rusev then finally signs a contract saying, well, you know what, I'm gonna beat you down at WrestleMania, stuff like that. And then so it's Rusev versus Cena at WrestleMania. I think the one reason why the WWE wanted this match to happen at WrestleMania is because basically I think that the WWE wants us to cheer down Cena, and I don't like this, in my opinion. Now, the WWE, you think they would learn. In 2015, you think that they would learn and not have to shove John Cena down our throats. Now, he's not in the main event for WrestleMania this year. which is good. But the bad thing is that he's going to bury Rusev this year, and potentially, you know, WWE could potentially make us like John Cena, because WWE trying to make us like John Cena just because he's feuding for the US title and he's feuding Rusev, and he's representing America. They just think like, hey, now John Cena's doing this whole American gimmick thing with Rusev. We can maybe make the fans cheer for him. That's not going to help him. If you want fans to cheer for John Cena, change his character and change his fucking personality. If you don't change those two things, people are not going to like him. Please change his character. I mean, not everybody in the attitude. When we was in the New Generation era, at the end of the New Generation era, Hulk Hogan was getting booed. In the Attitude Era, they improved that. A year later, they improved that. In 1996, he turned heel. And then, how great was that for WCW? For 2 years that they dominated the WWF. I mean, could you imagine if they turned John Cena heel? At least they'll probably get some good ratings, probably. But they won't do it. Then we get the third match tonight, which is the New Day versus Kid and Cesaro. Kid and Cesaro win. Cesaro hits a forearm on Kofi. I see basically a fatal 4-way at WrestleMania between the Usos, Los Matadores, and you know those sort of guys for the tag titles. And then we have a Brock Lesnar video package. It talks about how he conquers, you know, like Triple H and Cena and CM Punk, and he's conquered The Undertaker last year at WrestleMania. He says that he's going to conquer Roman Reigns and stuff, and expose him when he is, stuff like that. Right. And then Larry, I cannot pronounce his last name. He is going into the Hall of Fame. Then we get and then Kane says that then Kane says he's going to win the Andre Memorial Battle Royal. Henry comes out and says that he's entering the Andre Memorial Battle Royal, and then they all brawl, and then Mark Henry and the Big Show, Mark Henry and Kane brawl, and then Henry throws Kane over the top rope. And then we get to a Paul Heyman promo where Heyman says that in 12 days Lesnar will pass the fit, will not pass the fit, and he says that he will conquer. Lesnar will conquer Roman Reigns, and then he talks about how the WWE can switch off the network, they can switch off that, but they're gonna still have to put up with Brock Lesnar as WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And then Reigns comes out, and he comes out with this stupid, goofy, gimmicky shirt saying, "I can, I will." The most gimmicky t-shirts I've ever seen. Now, it's nice to have catchphrases on your t-shirt or a good design, but when you have a stupid fucking design and a stupid fucking catchphrase like "I can, I will," I know it's kind of a motivation thing, but that is the most stupidest thing ever, because we all know that Brock Lesnar is going to get beat at WrestleMania 31 and then go to the UFC. We all know that. So why are the WWE putting "I can, I will"? I know you're trying to make Roman Reigns believable, but we already know what was going to happen. We already know it's going to be Roman Reigns is going to beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. That is going to be set in stone. And Brock Lesnar's got to go to UFC because his contract runs out. But like I said, why would you come up with such a goofy t-shirt? Like, you don't have to have Roman Reigns come out with an "I can, I will" t-shirt. If you want him to be a badass, just keep him as a badass and spear everybody every week if you want to. That's just easy, in my opinion. Instead of just having that stupid goofy t-shirt he had on. And then there's one sign in the crowd before Reigns came out saying, "We don't want Reigns." I thought that was a funny sign. And then the fourth match tonight was a 6-man tag match. The IWC would have been the IWC would have been awesome about this. You know, it was Daniel Bryan and Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler teaming up against BNB, Stardust, and Harper. Harper wins the match. I forgot how he won. Oh no, Ambrose won the match with Dirty. After the match, the rest of the wrestlers brawl. Then R-Truth gets hit with a bullhammer by Barrett. Then Bray says that we saw a broken man at WrestleMania 30 last year, and then he says, and everybody felt, you know, ashamed that Undertaker's streak ended and ashamed of the Undertaker. But it says that at WrestleMania it's going to be the birth of Bray Wyatt and the last match that Undertaker wrestles in. And then yeah, that's the end of the promo. And then we get to the fifth match tonight, which is supposed to be Orton versus Rollins. Orton comes out, then Rollins comes out. Rollins says, "You think I had this plan out? You didn't think that I didn't have a plan for tonight's main event." And then he comes out with the Authority, and then obviously the Authority are back on the same page again. Basically, the Authority surround Randy Orton and stuff. Then Sting's music, the lights go out. Sting saves Randy Orton. He attack him and Orton take out the Authority. Sting hits a Scorpion Death Drop on Jamie Noble. Then Orton hits an RKO on Mercury. Then at the end, Sting and Orton stare at the Authority, and that was the end of the show, really. And Triple H just like shouts, he's like pissed off and shouts at Sting. And that was the end of the show. So that, guys, was my WWE Raw review for the 16th of the 3rd, 2015. My thoughts of the show: some parts were okay. The Heyman promo was good. The Bray Wyatt promo was better. The Sting Orton stuff was the best bit on the show. But the rest of the stuff was kind of filler, and I didn't really want to see that on the show, on Raw. I think it was not necessary. Some of the filler that we saw, filler Divas matches, filler tag matches, just stuff I didn't want to see. But anyway, that's what I thought of Raw. What do you guys think of Raw? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching, guys. Right out.